Let's break down how I just made $3,600 in a little under 30 minutes trading in the stock market. So hopping right inside my computer, this is inside the private mentorship group Discord server. Now, one thing that I offer is I allow my students to see my exact trade. So when I'm entering a position, I post my entry, and when I'm exiting that position, I post my exit. So a lot of my students, what they do is they just copy myself as a trader and either make or lose money depending on how well I'm doing. Now, this was the call out on ticker symbol ARM. That is the trade that we're going to be covering today. Like I said, that I made $3,600 on. A setup is a way that or a word I use to categorize what a chart looks like. So when we look at a chart, this chart presents the ATH pullback. ATH stands for all-time high pullback. That is the setup that I saw on this chart. Now, ARM, this is a screenshot upon entry, was sitting up about 33% on the day. So following that, I went ahead, I posted the trade management from the perspective as to how am I, as a trader, how am I going to be managing this trade, right? When we get into a trade, we always need to know exactly where we're going to be wrong and when we're going to be right. And then upon where we're wrong or when we're right, we need to know exactly how much we're going to make or lose so we could go about setting our stop loss and take profit. So my trade management was shorting off of the all-time high down toward the 15-day EMA, that blue line right there, okay? Now, I ended up locking in profit on ticker symbol ARM this morning. You could see a screenshot of the chart upon entry. ARM was down over 10% on the day. So I entered this position at 336 and I ended up getting out. We'll look at my broker statement after and I'll give you some more details on this trade, but I just want to show you what this looks like as far as the trading callout section inside the group. Now, I bought these contracts at $22.12. If you don't know options, $22.12 means $2,212. Okay, and I sold these at $3,115 for a net ROI of 40.71%. All right, if I pull up ARM, I'm going to show you this is with inside Thinkorswim. You can see connected real-time data. This is the broker that I trade on. My P&L year to date is $3,610. That is my gross amount of capital that I made, my gross amount of money that I made on this trade. And then if I look at my account statement, you can see my orders. So obviously these are the two orders that I sent through on the 12th, which was yesterday. The first one at 344.04, the second one at 334.42. Bought two contracts, bought another two, buying up the ARM March 15th, 2024 contracts, 140 put, the 140 puts obviously, and then my fill price right there. Connected real-time data. This is a live account, not a paper account, right? It would say paper if it was a paper account. Obviously, with inside the mentorship group, when it came to the call out, I posted the exact contracts that I went ahead and bought. Now that we have that out of the way, now that you guys know that I'm a legit trader, that I'm not trading on a paper account, that this is not just fake nonsense, this is actually a regulated broker that I trade on. Thinkorswim is very reputable and I trade options in the US market. So there's no funny business going on, but I just want to show you that real quick. Now I want to show you exactly how I found this trade in the first place. Now I want to actually play the live recording from this morning where I went ahead and locked in profit. And then I'm going to show you exactly how I found this trade in the first place, how I found ticker symbol ARM, and then how I actually decided which direction to trade ticker symbol ARM, right? So how did I find it? How did I know what direction to bet on it going? That is up next. But first, now this is the live recording from this morning. You can see the market opens February 13th, 9:30 a.m. Now you can see my mouse moving down to close this position. I went ahead, you can see we're up on the day, 4K, 3.6K. My P&L open is shifting. Looking over on the 1 minute time frame, I want to get the best entry possible. Okay, that is why I'm waiting to see where direction heads off of the open. But as we're down 10%, I go ahead and send that order through. And I'm waiting to get filled on my contracts. So waiting for that to happen. And there we go. Just got filled. I got out of my 4 ARM contracts. Now that is the live trade right there for you to see. And then right after that, I did end up posting this exit to the mentorship group. So everyone knew that I got out of this trade. Now, funny enough, I actually did record this video at 9:35 a.m. However, it is currently 4:47 because instead of recording my screen, I recorded myself the whole time. So that's why I'm recording this again. And that's why I just showed you that recap instead of just doing it live. Now, how did I figure out that ticker symbol ARM was a stock that I should even trade in the first place? And it wasn't by going through a series of watch lists and looking through 400, 500, 600 tickers. Ticker symbol ARM actually came through on my software. Now, I made a video covering my software, what it is, how it came to be, and really filling in all of the gaps from when I started trading to how I created the software up until this point. If you want to watch that video, I will put a link in the description below. But in short, my software is able to show me what stocks I should look at and what direction to bet on that stock going, in simple. Now, unless with this strategy specifically, when it comes to the setups, I have 3 setups that I trade. Those are all the setups that I teach over inside my mentorship group. Now, besides just giving people access to see and copy my trades, I actually put together a curriculum, making sure that those out there who want to learn how to become consistently profitable traders like myself are able to do so. So the ATH pullback is one of my 3 setups. Now, those setups, those 3, paired with my software, which I'll show you in a second, it's 50-50, okay? The software and the setups I take together using that information and make a decision on whether or not I should take the trade or not. I'll give you an example of that. Now, I do have other means to go about trading, other strategies that have nothing to do with these setups, that are only solely correlated to just the software. Now, that is something that I will be sharing more, obviously, in the coming weeks. But for this system, right, how I go about trading from a swing trading perspective, and the setups that I use paired with my software, it's 50-50. So here's my software. Now, yesterday on the 12th at 3:25, 2 sweeps came through on ticker symbol ARM. Now, if you want to know what all this means, like I said, go watch the video in the description below. But the first sweep, you can see we've got ARM puts, the $140 strike expiring March 15th, 2024, and there was $406,000 in cost behind that sweep. Now, the second sweep, these same contracts were purchased, but the cost behind that was $113,000. So I saw this ARM sweep come through, along with, after looking through all of the sweeps that did come through on that day. And when pulling up the chart, I was able to identify from a technical perspective, like I said, this ATH or all-time high pullback setup that I trade. Now that means the bias behind the sweep that came through on my software, which was obviously short as those were puts that came through. Well, now my bias aligns with the chart bias I have. So if this sweep came through on ticker symbol ARM and these were calls instead of puts, and I looked at the chart, well, I would have not taken this trade because the chart would not have presented one of those 3 setups that I trade. And the bias I would have had behind the chart, or vice versa, the bias that came through on the software behind that order, well, they do not go hand in hand. So I ended up buying up those same contracts that came through on the software, obviously putting that trade plan into place beforehand, managing risk as I do per usual with my risk management calculator, and then posted that trade right after to the team over inside my mentorship. And I can show you in my trade journal, I ended up coming out of this trade with a net P&L of $3,604. That was the only trade that I did take today. Obviously, the commissions deducted from the gross. And you can see here, my net P&L, the net ROI was 40.71%. If I open up this trade specifically, I was short on 4 options. My average entry price, my average exit price, my adjusted cost. So I was in this position with $8,850, and then my return. And that is how in under 30 minutes, I was able to make $3,600 trading in the stock market. Now, if you guys are interested in actually learning how to trade, whether you want to learn the lifelong skill of trading or you just want to copy my trades, I offer both. I'm willing to help you in either direction you would like to lean toward. So all you have to do, if so, is click the link in the description below. You can head over to the application for my mentorship group, click on apply, fill out your info, and if accepted, I look forward to working with you. Later.